Hey everybody, welcome behind the scenes here at Jamie Riddler Studios. I am Jamie and it is so great to be here with you today. I have been away for a little bit, getting everything ready for fall, and now, oh my goodness, we're already starting to think about getting things ready for winter. But I wanted to come in and spend some time with you. I've been thinking deeply about what is at the core of my work. As I create things in Jamie Riddler Studios, what is it that I am dreaming of for you? What is it that I am wishing for you? And I came up with 5 things. So I want to share with you today the 5 things that I am wishing for you. I think these are components of a vital and vivacious creative life. So the first one is to be yourself. It is perhaps the simplest and most difficult thing to do in this world, perhaps what we spend a lifetime trying to achieve. How do I know myself? How do I be myself with myself? And then how do I be myself with others? And then with others, meaning also in the context of this whole world. How do I know myself? How do I be myself? How do I be myself with myself? How do I be myself with others? There's something so profound and essential about coming home to ourselves, about finding our way to express ourselves in this world, to be free to be ourselves in this world. And all of us face many challenges to that, some extreme, some minor, and anywhere in between. And one of the places, so this is one of the places I want to encourage you to look as you move forward into the week this week. How can I be more of myself this week? How can I know myself more? How can I be myself when I'm just by myself more, free of judgment or reprimand, just fully moving forward out of the spirit of who I truly am. And then how can I do that in the context of others? And for this one in particular, I also always want to invite you to think about how can I also encourage this in others? Where am I complicit in making it harder for others to be themselves? Where maybe am I making other people wrong because they're not just like me? Or where do I maybe have some bias against certain people? Or where do I have some expectations of what people are supposed to be like? And how can I instead be a part of a world that allows each of us to be exactly who we are? And number 2 is love your life. Love your life. So much of what I do in the studio is about helping people bring their life into alignment with who they are. So you know yourself, and then you start to align your life with who you know yourself to be, and doing that within the current circumstances, no matter what they might be. Where are the opportunities you can find to start to shift, to start to make choices on a daily basis, to bring your life into alignment with who you truly are? And this is one of the reasons why I work with focus areas in almost everything I do: the studio yearbook, planning day, mindful Mondays. And in our focus areas, we determine what are categories of things that represent what's truly important to me. Maybe home is truly important to me. Maybe love is truly important to me. Maybe creativity is truly important to me. Maybe loved ones, maybe community, maybe service, maybe nature, maybe justice, maybe any number of things. Truly, truly, truly what matters to you. And how can you start to make your decisions and say yeses and nos to things that more and more bring your life clearly focused around those things you truly deem to be important to you. So this is a part of creating a life you love. But when I say love your life, I mean something else as well, which is, tend to it with tender, loving care. Nurture it, nourish it, cherish it. Beam at it, experience, give it, think about anything in life, your dog, your garden, your parent, your child that you really, really, really love, and think, how do I actively love that person, that being, that space, that place, that activity? How do I actively love it? And then think about just applying that to your life. How do I actively love my life? How do I tend to it with great care and devotion and feeling in my heart? How do I love my life? And then thirdly, and I think this is so important for people who are born with a creative spirit, is to create your body of work. There are things that want to come to life through you. There is energy that wants to flow through and manifest itself into a poem or a play or a party, that wants to become your memoir or a song or a production, a garden, a meal, a birthday celebration, a body of work. And this is when we start to take all the things that we've learned about who we are, and we steep it in knowing what it is to love ourselves and to love our lives, and we start turning it into something. And this takes skills, both practical skills like learning to dance or to play an instrument or to draw, but also creative skills like courage, risk-taking, taking in feedback, responding, hearing our intuition, making artistic choices, making choices, bold choices, personal choices, authentic choices. There's so much that goes into a lifetime of work, can go into building our body of work. And so I encourage you then also to look for a space this week where you could start to bring that something that's sitting in your heart. Maybe it's a class you want to teach. Maybe it is you finally want to turn that corner into a studio in your space. How can you start to bring that to life and make it become a part of your body of work? So, being yourself, loving your life, creating your body of work. And then what I want for you and for the rest of us too, including me, is that you be a light in the world. That as you become yourself, as you love your life into being, as you start to create your body of work, other people can see, oh, that's possible. Maybe I could do that too. And how can you also be a force for what you believe to be good in this world? How can you show up with strength of vision and strength of purpose and bring some goodness to a friend, to someone in need, to your community, to your country? You will hear the call of where you are needed, where you are asked to show up and bring something wonderful, something only you can bring, something steeped in knowing who you are and finding your way to contribute and be a light in this world. It may be grand, or it may be grand simply for that one person whose life you touched, and that is magnificent. Can you imagine deciding that isn't a big enough thing to do, to uplift one person's day, to inspire one person to come to their heart, to feed somebody when they're hungry, to give someone a jacket when they're cold, to speak up for somebody who has no voice, to all of these things are profoundly impactful. And being a light in the world is part of what I believe embracing our most alive creative life, I think it's a part of it. And then lastly, leaving a legacy, so that at the end of your days you can look back, and maybe that will mean having a body of work that stands behind you. Maybe it'll mean your kids have your photo albums of your much loved photos. Maybe it will mean somebody who loves you holds deep memories of you in their heart that they will never forget. Maybe it will mean you've published a book that will go on and on and on. Maybe it means you are a trendsetter and you insisted on new rules where you take yoga and suddenly that world was changed for the next person and the next person, the next person. So these are 5 big things that I wish for you. I wish for you that you be yourself. I wish for you that you love your life. I wish for you that you create your body of work, the work that wants to come through you. I wish for you that you be a light in this world. And I wish for you at the end of your days to feel at peace and content with the legacy you have left, the life you have lived, the person you have been, and all that you have created here in this world. No small thing. And so all of my work in the studio is focused on one aspect, some aspects, all aspects of this, of holding and encouraging and inspiring and motivating and getting you into action on these things. And if you imagine what it would be like to have each of these 5 things just alive with goodness, how might you feel? Start now. Start today. Think of one little way you could be more yourself. One little way that you could throw some love on your life. One little way you could start creating or completing a piece in your body of work. One little way that you can be a light. One little way you can feel into the kind of legacy you want to leave. So that is what I have to share behind the scenes here at Jamie Ridler Studios. I am getting ready to bring the Winter Studio Yearbook to you. We will probably go on sale November 1st, or at the beginning of November, so that we have time to mail out for people who get hard copies. And in November, I'll also be launching a new program. I've been talking about it just a little, and it's called Devotion. And I have spent the past 15 years working with people who are at the beginning of their creative journey. And so many of you have been with me for so long, and you are ready for that next thing, that next step, that deepening practice, that full-on commitment, that full embracing of your art and your creativity. And that is what Devotion is about. Devotion is an artist in residency program you go through at home. It will give you some structure. It'll give you some support from me. It'll give you a small, intimate community of other truly committed creatives. And you will spend a season this winter immersed in your art, building a unshakable relationship with your creative spirit and leaning into becoming more and more of the artist you are. And so that is why I'm calling it Devotion. And we'll be opening up registration for that in mid-November. I'm trying to get together a little sign up so that if you want to get notification of it when we are open, that you can get a little ping that says it's time. It's a lot today. I hope it inspired you. And just remember the 5 things. Be yourself. Love your life. Create your body of work. Be a light. Leave a legacy. I'll see you next week. Or sometime thereafter. I forgot whether I mentioned that I have some other kinds of videos I've been wanting to make for you. So the BTS might be a little more random because I find that when I'm sticking with this, I don't have time to make any of the other ones. And I have some things up my sleeve that I think you'll enjoy. So my best recommendation is not only to subscribe, but please click the little bell beside it. And when that happens, you'll get notification whenever I post something. So you will be the first to know there is something new. I want to go see what it is. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you found these wishes for your creative life inspiring or helpful in some way, please give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment to tell me what you're going to work on this week. I would love to hear. I'll see you soon. Bye.